Hello YouTube, welcome to my roti video. First we need some all-purpose flour, 600 grams to be precise. Next we need 270 ml of water, 1 raw egg, 1/4 cup of condensed milk. Setting that aside, we need 1 tablespoon of oil or ghee or butter. So this is the butter in solid form. So I placed that butter in the microwave and melted it. You could use a stovetop if you wish. Then lastly, we need some salt to put into the flour. First, take your egg and crack it, splitting the egg yolk from the white. So I use the shell method first. And as my grandmother taught me, the best way is to just use your hands and hold that yolk in your palm while letting the egg white slip through your fingers. Once all the egg whites is gone, put that yolk into a separate bowl and set it aside for now. We will put the egg white into the water. In addition to that, the condensed milk. Take your handy whisk and mix it up. Once the butter has cooled a little bit, put your egg yolk in. Whisk up vigorously. Next, we take the egg yolk butter and put it into the egg white water mixture. And that's it for the wet stuff. So in your KitchenAid, you set up the flour along with the salt. Take your paddle and install it. Mix it up for a bit to incorporate the salt with the flour. We slowly add the wet ingredients into the KitchenAid. So this is how it comes out after about a minute of mixing. So one thing to take note is there's those dry bits at the bottom, and that's something you would like to avoid. So I put just a bit of water into that same cup and pour it in slowly here. It still needs a little bit more, so just until the dry bits at the bottom disappear. This so that the dough can come together later and become a single ball of dough. And I think that's it. So take out your paddle. And this is just how the whole thing looks. We cover it with a plate or a towel just to prevent it from drying, and we let it rest for 20 minutes. So while it's resting, here's just some film of my dog walking around. And me just waiting. Okay, once that's done, we stop the timer, take out the plate, and nothing has changed. Install your dough hook into the KitchenAid and knead at setting 2 for 10 minutes. And watch your KitchenAid beat up that dough. So your dough should come out of the bowl without leaving much trace. Next, so rounding out the dough into small balls, you need to cut a bunch of plastic around, cling wrap plastic, and pour some oil into a ball. And so this is the dough. Now I'm just trying to just warm it up a bit, see if it's a bit stretchy but still a bit resilient. So I set it into a giant ball and cut it in half with my bench cutter. Then for those halves, I cut those halves in half again. And one more time. So that should leave us with around 8 balls. So you squeeze it and mold it around your hands. And I make sure to make a cup with my hands to squeeze it tight to make sure that the ball is smooth. You do not want any cracks or folds to appear like that one. So fill that in and make sure to press hard so that there's no air inside as well. Another technique is also, once it's cupped in your hands, you just rub it in a circular motion. And that should also make most of the cracks disappear. It doesn't have to be a ball. It's best to be a disc because you're gonna flatten it anyway. Just make sure it's even. So we stick the dough into the oil. Just roll it around, best to keep its shape. Not too much. And then we put it into the cling wrap. And just wrap it in the plastic. And that's it. So you should end up with around 8. I only have 5 because I ate the other 3. So I put these 5 into the freezer. Before you actually flip the dough, make sure to let it rest overnight. And in the next video, I'll show you how to actually flip it.